Just take it away from him. Under 4 left. The barn is alive again. 52-51.
Got me in my hormones, all gas, no brakes, score 4-0. If you think you own this place, you get foreclosed. I've been in my head, but it's not about a T3. I like to learn, but there's nothing you can teach me. We all got opinions. You about to hit a meat tree and bitches. CSJ never really misses. Shitty 7 land, baby, shout out to Indigenous. My girl, she got mad at me cause she don't know the difference between this and that.
How you doing?
I am doing good. I'm doing great. I'm doing just as good as the roster is doing right now. Sports Show YYC, Instagram, Twitter, Sports Show TV on YouTube. Look up the Sports Show on Facebook. It's all Sports Show. Spotify, iTunes, Podbean, everywhere. Look, we got the Podbean page up. Yeah, that's what it is. It's easy. You can start from there anywhere you want. Ladies and gentlemen, roster, thank you for listening. As always, you know what, Mitch and I. So we get together. You know, we have our pregame,
yes,
if you will,
pregame,
and boy,
tailgate.
You know, just when we think we want to make changes and we make changes, then we have the other revelation.
Oh, dude,
2022. That's all I got to say.
Dude, what just happened upstairs?
It was magical.
It was magical.
Was it as good for you?
It really was. It really, really was. I am so pumped, excited. Hey, cheers.
Hey, cheers, man.
Hey.
You know what?
By the way, I got a text last week from the Dale, from Tebow. He's loving it. He's excited about the curling segment we're going to start doing. I'm calling it sliders.
Sliders.
That's what I'm calling it.
That's amazing.
Or the
sliders and skips.
Right?
Isn't it a skipper?
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Sliders and skips.
Or hurry. It could be the other. You know who'd be good at curling? Umpires.
You think so?
Yep.
Yeah,
just like making those noises.
Oh my God! You know who else would be curling? Like all of our grandfathers.
Yeah.
Like if you can herd the sheep. Yep.
Yep. Good point. I never thought of that.
Full on play calls, but yeah, no. Dale, T-Bone, honey, sugar, baby.
There it is.
You know we're covering the curling.
We will.
We'll see you at the Winter Club. I don't know. Where do people curl?
A lot of places. Wherever there's ice, there's a rock nearby.
If there's ice, you can find a curler. Any alley, side street,
That's
wherever
right.
they are.
Just random curling games showing up at it.
All jokes aside,
Yeah.
that is a difficult.
No, it really is. Like
difficult game.
I've compared it. Like people will say it's shuffleboard. Okay, sure.
Whatever.
Or call it chess on ice.
Yeah, but that's my thing, Mitch. Is anyone even good at shuffleboard?
No.
Like, oh, it's just shuffleboard. Okay, go to a bar.
Bro, go ahead.
Go, come on.
I don't see. Hey, by the way, I don't see shuffleboard on TSN.
Off.
I see curling on TSN.
I see curling on TSN.
I'm just saying.
Well, it's one thing to keep your balance. Once
Yeah.
you get over that, it's fine, right? But it's the weight, to understand the weight, and then
to curl it, to spin it. Yeah, it's.
I'm excited.
I'm excited about this too. And I mean, they got cooler names. Hey, you have the hammer. Sure do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who doesn't want to? Who doesn't want the hammer at the end of the thing? You know what I mean? Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Now the broom thing we can talk about. Maybe they need a little bit of difference, different equipment is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, you know the other thing too is then you see like the other people carrying the broom. It's like the witch's broom,
Right?
where it's like, well, I got to be old school. It's like, okay, yeah,
kinda like
there's no
that, I'm not
points
gonna
for
lie.
not wearing helmets anymore.
Nothing worse than a thistle in the eye. I would like to see curling fighting.
Curling
Like
fighting.
he's like, whoa, like you drop the sticks or drop
Yeah.
the brushes or whatever, the brooms, and you go.
The brooms.
Yeah. You got a thug. He's like, oh, there's a T-Bone. Oh, T-Bone's
no.
eyeing down the other guy, and next thing you know,
The Alberta Avalanche have brought out their grinder line.
that's what I'm talking about. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think there's something we can do here. to
Wrestling
alter
the
it.
finesse players who just see these just bulk,
just
farm
these
boys,
machines coming out, just ripping the rock down the ice, right? Like,
In the Briar of 2019, when an altercation ensued, they haven't forgotten.
just thoughts that we have. It's just random thoughts. Now, with that being said, can we talk about? We're starting with our favorite segment. It's becoming a huge favorite for me and you. It's the opening drive. We have to talk, like we can talk about some things that happened on the weekend, NFL, blah, blah. Who cares? Let's literally talk about the greatest thing that happened. So Friday night, Canada took on Costa Rica. They win 1-0 up in Edmonton. Lo and behold, Mexico is taking on the U.S. for the CONCACAF, to relegate, to get themselves all set up for the World Cup, right? These guys are all doing it right now. Well, lo and behold, U.S. knocks down Mexico in the U.S., and all of a sudden it's coming down to Canada versus Mexico in Edmonton. Winner becomes first place in the CONCACAF. So on their way to Qatar for the 2022 World Cup, which is exciting. It's minus 20 up in Edmonton. Huge snowstorm blows through. And you couldn't ask for better, Canadian soccer weather to happen for us to take on the number 10 ranked Mexico of the world in soccer.
Unbelievable. Look, I'm going to tell you something right now. I love everything about Team Canada. It's exciting.
Yeah.
And look, you know what? It really is exciting for us because I don't think we've made the World Cup since the early 90s.
Something like that.
You know, I mean, even then, did we really even make it? Does it even really count?
It counted.
It was like a pity.
Yeah.
But the thing that I love about the Canadian team is that, you know, we'll get into it. Let me tell you, let me just get right to the goods.
Let's get to the goods,
Here's
please.
what I love,
Yeah.
okay? You can credit the Canadian team all you want.
Yep.
You can credit the players all you want. Heck, you can credit the fans all you want. But you guys are all missing the point.
That's right.
You want to know who deserves all the credit in the world?
Tell 'em.
Is you, Mr. Canadian scheduler.
Yes.
The scheduler. Because let's call it what it is, okay? There are four marquee cities in Canada to play soccer. Vancouver and Toronto, 1 and 2.
Easily.
1A, 1B.
Easily.
MLS teams.
All day.
Fantastic cities.
Yep.
Big markets for soccer.
Yep.
Then you got, in my opinion, number 3, which is Montreal.
Montreal.
Yeah. Great city. Has a
That European flair.
Oh, yes.
So you feel like you're in a soccer environment.
A little closer to home.
Sure.
Right? It's
Yeah.
really home for the away.
I agree.
You know, it's
sure?
it's a very
But you
tough-
don't want Mexico to feel at home.
And then you got Edmonton. Edmonton's your buddy you don't like.
That's right.
But he's got the toys.
Yeah. Good
Right?
point. I
It's
like that.
Oh my God, Edmonton! Are we inviting Edmonton? Well, yeah, because if we don't, how are we going to play in Edmonton's backyard? He's got the trampoline. He's got the this. So look, Edmonton. What do they have? They got a stadium that fits a lot of people.
Right.
Mediocre at best. They kind of have a soccer game. But let me tell you something, you smart scheduler, you cunning warrior.
Brilliant.
You person who deserves all the credit. You could have had Mexico and Costa Rica come to any city.
Sure.
But then you said, wait, are we in November?
Wait a minute.
Let them come to Edmonton. Hey.
Brilliant.
Brilliant. That's the win.
I'm thinking the scheduler probably, this is hypothetical.
It's the win.
Probably got an all-inclusive somewhere. Had a little bit of the food poisoning. Again, allegedly. And he's taking it out on the Mexico. He goes, oh, they got to come up in November? Oh, you could have sent them to Hamilton. Yeah. You could have sent them to Nova Scotia.
That's right.
Prince Edward Island. Probably really nice this time of year. No, you knew something. You know those cold winds were coming down. You sent them to Edmonton. And so the game takes place. I got to be honest. I watched the game from beginning to end.
It was a fantastic game.
Loved the game.
Yes.
But this is the best part. So they're playing. 2 seconds into the game, the Canadian soccer team turns into the Canadian hockey team, and they smash some player onto the ground. How that guy didn't get a yellow card right off the bat, I don't know. Okay? So we fast forward. The stats don't, if you were to pull up the stats right now, you'll see that Mexico kind of had shots on goal, shots on net, time of possession, all. That literally, ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't watch the game, by the way, YouTube it because it was excellent. Canada dominated that whole game, literally the whole time.
Really
and you can say the cold and all that, and it probably did play a factor. But Canada, man, wanted that way more than Mexico did. Mexico wanted to play the 90 minutes and go home. In fact, to my point, every time somebody went down, they were like literally trying to pick that person up. They're like, "No, you're fine. You're that cramp. I'll rub you out on the side. Come on, hey, let's go. We got 90 minutes. No, we gotta go." Major props to Davies. Major props to Lauren. To Buchanan, number 11, who, by the way, you're like a little Marchand. You were an instigator all night. I saw what you were doing. I saw what you were doing the whole time. I like what you were doing, though. I like what you're doing.
We're not saying we didn't like it.
But maybe the player of the game, he didn't score the 2 goals like Lauren did, but the goalie, Borgen. Borgen, you son of a gun, you. You know what I like the most? When they scored, Mexico scored late in the game, and when he ran into the net and jumped on the ball.
He jumped on the ball.
Brilliant. Smart.
So, Mitch, I don't like putting on the spot, but I got to correct you because
What?
there's going to be a lot of Serbs listening to this.
Okay.
A lot of Slavs. Hey, you know what I mean? I'm basically half Slav.
Sure, Borjan.
Mitch.
What are you saying?
Don't mess up the J. My wife's going to kill me. It's a Y.
It's a Y.
It's a Y.
Borjan. Is that how you say it?
Whoa.
Am I rolling the R's?
Are you Mitch?
Are
you Mitch or Slav?
Borjan.
Oh.
Hey. Okay.
Look, this guy.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Buddy, 2 major saves at the end there. Did you see those?
Major saves.
Huge.
I mean, a tie changes the whole thing. In that,
Everything.
Like that little nick of breathing room. There's still a way to go.
Yeah.
There's still some games to be played, but there's something to be said about the momentum that Canada's going. But that guy made the save of all saves.
Agreed.
And then the best part is
Yeah.
then the altercation was going to continue to ensue after the game.
Yeah.
And he runs out and he's like, you. Get back. Hey,
Yeah,
is he
get
the
outta here.
dad? He
was the dad of the team. Well, I'll prove how he's the dad of the team. 2 things. Number 1, major saves at the end. Agreed.
Yeah.
Jogging pants. That's why you know he's the dad of the team. This is my thing. I don't mind. But, buddy, I couldn't help. Every time I looked over at him, I was like, he looks so bad. I mean, the rest of the team's all in shorts. They're all playing in the cold. And you were trying to make a point that you're like, well, yeah, but he's a goalie. He's on the other side. He's alone, basically, most of the time. And he's like, whatever. Yeah, but you got to make that commitment. He should have been in shorts. He looked like a great sixer playing at recess. That's what he looked like.
I think the best part, though, is he had the dad role, and he wore the dad jogging pants.
Good point.
They weren't even designed to fit the uniform.
No, zero.
They weren't even the stylish, nice fitted soccer jogging pant. These were, honey, I got to go to work.
Honey, I'm going downstairs to clean the basement.
I'll be right back. Hold on. Guys, what happened? I just finished painting. What? I ran out of time.
Hey, Bordigan, where were you? Oh, I don't know. I just won Team Canada first place in the CONCACAF.
This guy, but you know what? Hold on. I got to defend him on one thing.
Okay.
Mitch. I got to defend him on one thing here. You can say he should wear shorts, but there's a difference between him and the players. Those players, they're running 8, 9, 10 kilometers a game. Their body temperature's going up.
Sure.
This guy's sitting on the sideline waiting for action.
Yeah, I agree. But you know what?
Kind of like you when you were 19 at the bar. Anyways, I digress.
You wish. But the reality is, no, you know what? All jokes aside, it just looked awkward. But, hey, it was minus 20. I don't blame you, Bordigan. I would have did the same thing. I get it.
But isn't like the goaltender in soccer the ultimate Greek dad role?
Oh, yeah.
Where you're just sitting there and you're like, look, it's not even Greek dad. It's like any Greek role. I'm not going to participate as much.
Yep.
I'm going to tell you what to do.
Exactly.
I'm going to show up from time to time.
Sure.
And I'm the leader, just so everyone
Agreed.
knows.
Can I finish off with this? You said it a second ago. He came in and basically broke up the fight. But Canada, being that we're Canadian and being that we got a whole bunch of guys that just have a little bit of a chip on their shoulder, they said, hey, they almost got into a fight at the end.
Yeah.
I loved it. I thought they brought hockey into it. They brought it all into it. And, buddy, you could tell everyone was, like, itching. They were like, come on, fight. Like, drop it. Let's go.
Do it.
And you know what? With all due respect, Mexico wasn't backing down. They're like, you guys want to go? You guys want to fight? Oh. Is this what you guys want?
You know, all jokes aside, with Canadian soccer, we've seen success in the MLS with Toronto FC. Right, we got 2 teams that soccer is a big, but now to see the World Cup, and potentially, and this is why I really hope that Canada makes the World Cup this time around, because then they'll have the hype.
Because they'll fight everybody.
They'll fight everyone.
Right.
They'll have the hype train behind them, and then when we put in a real bid to have the World Cup in Canada, it's legitimate now.
True that. I agree.
It's legitimate now.
That's a good
point.
point.
Be like, well, you know what? Maybe we can start looking at
just not in November.
Just not in November.
Maybe we're a spring-summer kind of soccer country.
November's for Qatar.
Yeah.
We're okay.
Agreed. Okay. There it is. And you know what? Hey, Canada, amazing. Number 1 seed in the CONCACAF.
As it
Just
stands.
saying. Just saying. From there, we jump over to the NHL. It's a little dump and chase. You know how we love doing this. And I got to start with something. All right? You know how I am.
Okay.
I like to peruse the internets. I'm around. I'm looking around. Right?
Oh. You got that
and I
look.
see this
You got
interview.
that look.
I see this interview. They're talking to him. They're talking to Johnny Tortorella, one of our favorites.
If not the favorite.
Exactly. And they go, hey, Johnny, how you doing? Good, are you? How's not coaching anymore? It's okay, he says, right? You know what I mean? I'm paraphrasing, of course.
Is that what he said?
He said, I don't know, whatever. So all of a sudden, they go, hey, Johnny, McDavid, he's tearing it up right now.
Yeah.
Granted, he's only second in scoring next to his buddy Draisaitl, who probably gets fed the puck from, McDavid 99% of the time. But I digress. We'll get into that more. They say, Johnny, McDavid, is he the greatest? Is he that good? Like, is there anything that he really has to change in his game? Johnny had a little something to say. He goes, yeah, you know what? He's good. He is the best. But if they want to go far in the playoffs, if they want to be a Stanley Cup team, he does have to change his game. He's got to be, again, I'm paraphrasing, but he basically said McDavid's the best player offensively, but maybe not the best defensively. So a lot of people were taking shots at Tor going, what are you talking about? This guy, a lot of other, like Ryan Whitney out of, Spitting Chicklets, he came out and said he might be, and if not, in his words, not mine, the greatest player that's ever played the game. And based on where we are, 2021, he's not crazy to say that. I get it. But is Torts that wrong? Is he that crazy for what he said?
He's 100% right.
I know.
He's 100% right. There's a difference between. Okay, I'll give it to you. I'll give
it to you. Right.
Because you just
give it to me.
Give it to me. Itchy. But hey, I will always go down as the guy that called the spade a diamond.
Hey,
okay.
Fair enough. I respect.
However the saying goes.
Right.
No. He's 100% right, because what did he say? He said he's got to toughen up. He's got to work on his game in areas if he wants to win a Stanley Cup.
Agreed.
There's a difference between being a Stanley Cup winner and going down as, let's say, the greatest player today.
Right.
Okay, those are two. You can be a regular season pony. You could rack up the points. But looking at all the greats, you have to win the cup. And in order to win the cup, we know that it takes a complete team. Mm-hmm. It takes a lot of toughness, takes grit, blah, blah, blah.
All that.
So let's just look in recent history. There has not been a Stanley Cup winning team in the last, I'd say 10, 15 years, where when the star players aren't producing, for example, the other team isn't picking up the slack. So follow me on this.
Okay.
Is because you get to the playoffs and you're matching line for line. You're trying to eliminate each other. And the understanding between all the cup winning teams is if everyone does their job and if everyone contributes, then it's great. If a guy like McDavid is going to think that the puck is going to land where it did in the regular season and he's got to play, no, it doesn't work like that. So let's go into the generation before, the Crosby-Ovechkin debate.
Right. Okay.
Where Ovechkin would score way more goals, sometimes end with more points. But why did Crosby and the Penguins win more Stanley Cups? Because they realized that you got to do things a little bit different. You got to back check. You got to play behind the net. You got to get in dirty places. You got to do a lot of these things. And if McDavid's not going to toughen up and do these things, Mitch, there's no Stanley Cup for him. Tortorella's right.
Were you reading my notes? Were you reading my notes?
I don't know.
No, that's exactly. Listen, I think John Tortorella does get a bad rap because he was a loudmouth, and so people are thinking and always thinking about like the Flames thing with Vancouver. Remember, he was trying to fight all the Flames in the dressing room. I think that stigma has stuck with him, and so when he made these comments, I mean, it seems like everyone in the hockey world attacked him. Does McDavid have to change his game? No, he doesn't have to change his game, and if he doesn't, he'll be one of the greatest, if not the greatest player of all time. However, will he have a Stanley Cup? No. The answer is he won't. So is John crazy for saying what he said? No, he's not crazy. But I think where their little disconnect is, if you're asking now McDavid to do that stuff that you're saying, which I agree he should do a little bit more, and I can prove it because right now I just have their plus minus, which I don't know if is a great stat, but it's a stat that they calculate anyways. Leon Draisaitl, the number one leading scorer in the NHL as of right now with 33 points, he's a plus 11. McDavid, right now, second place, 29 points. He's a plus 2. That's a big difference when you think about it. They're on the same line. They're on the same team. But why is such a disconnect? The reality is that what Tortorella said is truth, and it's hurting some people's feelings going, how could you say that?
How can people think Tortorella is wrong when they watched an Edmonton Oilers team last year get swept by the Jets?
Exactly. My point.
End of story. Why?
Exactly.
Because the Jets said, I don't care who you guys think you are.
Yeah.
We're going to play our tight, grinding hockey. 4 rotating lines.
Right.
Or however, 3 on defense, however they work it. But of go, go, go. And the Montreal Canadiens did the same thing to the Maple Leafs. Why? Because they get into the playoff mode and they play tougher. And what Tortorella is saying is, look, we're talking about a guy who's a Stanley Cup winner, number one. We're talking about a guy who took a Columbus Blue Jackets team of nobodies and made them top-end contenders.
True. All true.
Okay?
All
so
true.
I'm sorry to say, guys, same thing with the Rangers, right? Yeah, and so he understands. Now, sometimes he might go a little overboard.
Sure.
You know, maybe he's...
We don't know anything about that.
Well, right? Maybe he might be the wrong kind of coach for McDavid in the sense where you gotta let players like that fly. But yeah, players like that also got to understand that it's maybe the blessing in disguise is that Draisaitl again is getting more points because maybe McDavid just needs to learn that he needs to be a quarterback because he can be, and it's okay not to get points on the board when you're not getting scored on or whatever, you know.
But here's my, you know what I'm going to say to you. I agree with everything, and everyone knows that my whole it's not that I would trade McDavid. I want to make this very clear because I think some people get confused. I would trade him, but it's not because I trade him because he's a bad player. It's because I know I can get like everything plus another everything for him. There's a difference. What Tortorella's saying is a little bit skewered, though. He's asking the greatest player, let's just throw what Ryan Whitney and a lot of people think, the greatest player to do extra. I think this falls more on the Edmonton management, going, you guys got a guy that can basically do everything. Maybe back-checking isn't his biggest forte. Go get him some guys that'll grind a little bit more. Okay? That's all. That's the way I look at it. If this question has flared anything up, it requires the Edmonton Oilers management to say, okay, wait a minute. Now Tortorella is saying that McDavid not only should be on the power play, on the penalty kill. I'm not sure. I don't think he's on the penalty kill, but he should be our best offensive player, and he's got to be our best defensive guy. Those, I don't think he requires to be all that. You know what I'm trying to say? Yeah. Hey, Edmonton, go out and get what is required to make him even, if he's this good and he's at, in Tortorella's mind, 90% of his capacity, what would he be with a guy that loves to go into the corners and pass him the puck and do this, that, the other? All of a sudden, you got 100.
See, McDavid's one of those players like Gretzky was, like Crosby is, where you can literally put anyone on the line. Well, not so much anymore with Crosby because he's slowing down. But, you know, in the prime, these guys in their prime, you could put anyone on the line and they're going to be successful.
That's right.
Okay?
Hyman.
And, right?
Yeah.
That's all that. So, you know, maybe you're right, Mitch. Maybe that's what it is. I agree with Tortorella. Say you have to toughen up. You have to look at
he's got to toughen up a little bit. Sure.
You have to look at the game a little bit differently.
Agreed.
And you got to be a little more gritty, which I think he does have it in him. I think we also got to give this guy a little bit of slack. Like let him put some reps in the NHL for crying out loud. But at the same time, yeah, maybe you're right. Where it's you need that Semenko. You need Pascal Dupuis,
exactly.
Right? Guys that are just, you know what?
That's
You're
right.
just there to do
the dirty work. That's right. That's it.
That's the name of this podcast.
The dirty work. Now, here's a big thing. The reason I think this all came up is because this past week, Mr. McDavid hit 600 points. How many games, you ask? 421 games. And I think that's how this whole conversation came up, and that's with a guy that missed the season.
By the way,
so
I had CD at work.
Right.
He showed me this post.
Yeah.
So it showed.
I have it here, I think. Go.
How many games for the first 100?
Yeah.
How many for the second 100? This guy is shaving points. He's at 53 games in his from 500 to 600.
It's crazy. But let me throw out a little stat because we're Gretzky guys here. Gretzky, 600 points. How many games did it take Gretzky? 274 games to hit 600 points. Who's second place? This guy, I don't know if you heard of him, Mario Lemieux. 323.
Not bad.
Not bad. Listen, McDavid in this NHL to do it in 421, Ryan Whitney's not crazy. He might be the greatest of all time, this kid.
Yeah,
but I don't know how many Stanley Cups. Because I'm still that guy that you need at least one. In this day and age, you need one.
You got to
get one, man. That's just the way I look, to be classified in the top of the top.
That's right.
Different worlds. Hey, I wish I lived in the 60s too, where I could drink at work. I watch Mad Men. It doesn't work anymore. I can't do it at work now. I can't do it at home. But it is what it is.
You can't be pound for pound if you haven't even won the title.
It's true.
End of story.
From there, we go to the Sports Show Power Rankings. I'm just going to call it that simple. Sports Show Power Rankings.
Let's not overthink it, Mitch.
Yeah, there it is. Creepers, Ladies and gentlemen, by the way, huge movement this week. This has probably been, from the time we started this to the time that it's ended, the biggest movement of all time.
I'm curious to see what you did for a list. I was looking at it.
At Creeper List, it's the Oilers, it's the Flames, and the Capitals. Last week, all three of these were in the top 5. All now looking in, like little creep shows that they are.
Wow.
At number 5, hey, how you doing? It's the Winnipeg Jets.
Well, are they not on the top?
Leading the Central. At number 4, ladies and gentlemen, this team was supposed to suck this year. They have the 4th leading scorer in the league named, by the way, who's Troy Terry? It's the Anaheim Ducks.
I'm just a year or two early.
Exactly. Exactly. At number 3, hey, they're on a 4-game winning streak, and they are the capital of Canada. No, not you, Ottawa. Toronto.
Yes. Yeah.
On fire.
On fire.
At number 2, hey, Florida, you dropped one. You're at number 2 at 11-2. Looking good, don't get me wrong. But it's the Jerks from Carolina at 12-2. This team.
Can we just call them the Carolina Georges?
The Carolina Georges at number 1. They, you know what? The most steady team. They were at 3. They were at 2. Maybe went to 4. I don't think we ever had them at 4.
George is a consistent listener.
Always.
Carolina's a consistent winner.
Boom.
The Carolina Georges.
The Carolina Georges it is at number 1. So, who do we got at the sports show? Not so power ranking list. It's the at number 5 and the Creepers. We'll start with the Creepers. It's Pittsburgh and Senators. They want in. They're almost in, but they're not in anymore.
Right. They're just young enough to stay at the bar, but not too old to be called the creeper loser.
The bartender's looking at you going, are you really 21?
Really?
18? Whatever, depending what country you're from. Yeah. At number 5, it's the Vancouver Canucks.
Yeah.
So losers of the last 4.
Yeah,
what happened to the Canucks?
Not good. Nice.
I'll tell you who's not wrong. Thatcher Demko. Greatest name in all sports. He's not the problem.
No,
not
the problem. Yeah, I don't know this team, and I don't think it's going to get any better.
Dude, apparently I read this article earlier today. 6 years of rebuilding. Every year it's a rebuild year.
What is this, the green line?
It's an inside joke for those that don't know. Check out the Calgary media. At number 4, it's a team I picked to maybe go to the Stanley Cup this year. It's the Islanders. Buddy, what happened to my Islanders, man? They have everything you need.
That one's a bit of an anomaly.
Yeah. It's a little weird.
Jordan Eberle. He obviously was the missing piece.
The Kraken picked him up for nothing. At number 3, it's Montreal. Hey, how you doing? Lost 3 in a row, but just not there yet.
That might change.
That's good. When Carey gets back, things are on the way. I get it. At number 2, it's the Blackhawks. I moved them. I had to.
Moved them, hey?
They're on a 3-game winning streak. I had no choice. I was going to leave them at number 1. I was going to leave you at number 1 just because of what you guys did.
Yeah.
But I said, I got to be fair. Not that you guys were. Anyways, that is a whole other thing. And at number 1, it's the Coyotes.
It's the Zona.
They literally only have 2 wins.
Yeah, that's tough.
That's a hard one.
That is really tough.
Yeah.
You know, and isn't it crazy to think you got a team like Arizona that if you go 3 years ago, has all these pieces where it's like we're getting better, younger. You know, they were, playoff series again, and then this. This is the drop off.
This is what you guys bring us?
This is almost as bad as the Packers losing Rodgers.
No wonder they don't want you in Glendale anymore.
Whew.
Where are you going to go now?
Suckdale
is right. The Suckdale Coyotes.
The Suckdale Coyotes.
All right. From there, we go to everyone's favorite segment. The streak is on. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the 60-second snap count.
Okay, let me get ready.
Yeah, you let me know.
I don't know if I got enough this week. I was
Well, you know what? It'll stay under a minute then.
Okay.
All right.
Tell me what.
Listen, last week, I looked at the footage. I went to the replay.
And?
The red flag came out, so it was reviewed.
You think I'm over?
I looked at the clock.
Yeah.
Because I'm the judge. No, of course not. You were totally under.
God. Yeah, I'd be worried there for a second.
All right. From there, here we go.
Okay.
And go.
Look, we're going to start week 1 by confirming that land is better than the sea. What are you talking about? Very easy. A dolphin beat a bird, a buffalo beat a plane, and a cowboy also beat a bird. Speaking of beat, did Washington win or are the Bucks just beating themselves? Look, speaking of beating themselves, hey, Mitch.
Hey.
But let's go back to it. Detroit, Pittsburgh. How the heck do you tie in the NFL? How does that even happen? Look, speaking of happen, it just so happens it's the week of the QBs. Listen, we're going to talk about them. Mayfield out. Murray still out. Newton in. Flacco about to be in. And speaking of in, if you listen to me in the money-making matchup, you'd be in the money because Philadelphia beat the Broncos. Just like I said, it's an undefeated streak. But look, speaking of points, Seattle 0 points, really? But look, let's stay on top of points. That's what KC's going to be doing, both on the win column and for Mahomes. And that's the 60-second snap count.
58.06. The streak is alive.
Woo!
And for a guy that thought he didn't have material.
I thought he didn't have much. I looked
Look
at
at
it.
that. Right on the money. 58.06.
There you go.
Nice
I
work.
like that one. That was a good one.
That was a nice one.
That was a really, really good one.
You
Well
did that
thought
at
out.
work?
What's no? After hours.
After hours. And by the way, how mad is the boss? I mean, you did call Philadelphia beating the Broncos.
He's avoiding me right
He's
now.
avoiding
He
me.
doesn't want to make sure. Yeah.
So I was thinking about it. I was like, you know what? Last week I told you guys it was the middle of the week, blah, blah, blah. So we now are in the thick of the season. This is where the cream rises to the top, and so do the players as well. I'm going to give you a list of names. Are they makers or are they fakers? Because I'm starting to figure out who's real, who's not. I want you to help me out. You ready? And, you can throw a little.
I might call this the new podcast name, Makers and the Fakers.
Makers and the fakers?
Makers and the Fakers.
We'll see.
Okay.
Here we go.
You got movers and shakers.
You got movers and shakers.
And makers and fakers.
Makers and fakers. Cleveland Browns, maker or faker?
You know what? I'm gonna go maker. It sucks if I don't know if the baker, fakers, makers, and an injured Baker. Oh my. I'm gonna say makers because without Baker Mayfield, yeah, this team has no chance. But with him in, look, they are playing. They're a tough team to play against. You don't look at them in the schedule. It's not an easy win. Actually, as a matter of fact, you don't know.
Right.
It is the last two seasons, and I mean this season and the season before. The first time I'm looking at Cleveland as the favorite.
Yeah.
Going into most games.
Yeah, that's very true. That's a great point. I'm going to say the Cleveland Browns team, I agree with you, are makers.
Yes.
Here's the next name, Baker Mayfield. Maker or faker?
Maker.
I'm going to say faker.
No, he's a maker.
I'm going to tell you something. Yes, he's brought this team to that point, but so has the Cleveland management. This team's on paper, the team's stacked. Garrett Miles, MAGA, like all day long. This guy is a machine. He's an android. He's something. I don't know. You've molded him out of clay.
Right.
Nick Chubb, amazing. Hakeem, was it Hakeem Nicks, right? Machine. They got rid of Odell, which I think, and we'll get to him in a second. Big move.
Thanks for
I
ruining
think this
my
team's on their
pick.
way, but Baker worries me a little bit, man. There's something he's not.
Okay, so
I don't know what it is. Like I don't. Okay, here, let me finish. Let's say they don't sign him because this year he's up for renewal.
Right.
If they don't sign him, some other team's gonna pick him up right away.
No question.
100%. Because he hasn't been horrible, but he hasn't been great. I don't know what to do with the guy. Because if you pick him up, Dimitri, you got to pay this guy the money. Do you pay the guy the money?
You should just go to Minnesota.
Minnesota just got their quarterback.
Just got their
I didn't. You know
Cousins
what?
out.
There it is.
Cousins,
They just got there.
You're out. We'll give you 80 million.
Maker. You're right. You're right.
You know what? I think we're talking about two slightly different things. I call him a maker only because he's a guy who gets it in the sense that you got to change.
Right.
He's at least mature enough to be like, man, this whole NFL business, it has humbled me a bit.
You think?
Yeah, in comparison,
I
to this guy.
Yeah, no,
that they had
true.
who's
I'll give you that. Yeah,
right. So he's not a prima donna quarter. He was the man. He's not a prima donna. He's taking it seriously, and it looks like he's putting the work in. But you might be right in a figure because I'm thinking now, if you put any other quarterback on this Cleveland team,
right?
Like imagine if Brady walked into this Cleveland team.
This is what I'm thinking.
Then yeah, I can see why you say he's a faker.
But it's hard. I mean, Brady's here, Baker's here. Like it's two different things. All right, a couple more. What about the New England Patriots? Makers or fakers?
The Patriots organization with Belichick and McDaniels and Kraft are makers. I think Mac Jones is a maker.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, he was mine. Why are you reading my notes off?
No, I don't know.
So here's it. I agree, man. You know what? Last year they had a crappy year. COVID. What was it like? The most amount of players, 10 players that opted out. So because of COVID, they all came back. They're all like, "Hey, Bill, we're back. We want to play for you." Blah blah. And they're like, "Hey, we got this Mac Jones guy. We got rid of Cam. Don't be upset about it, but we got rid of him." Buddy, New England. What did I tell you at the beginning of this year? What's the NFL's dream matchup? Tampa Bay, New England. It's on the way. It's happening. You thought Snoop and all those guys at the Super Bowl halftime was big? The show is big times big.
You think so? Nah, it can't happen.
It could happen. It could happen. All right, here's one. What about the LA Rams? Makers or fakers?
Makers until they decided to do the biggest bonehead move and bring OBJ to the team. Why, you guys? Why?
Yeah.
As a 7-2 team, you finally fixed the quarterback problem. I get that Woods is injured and he's going to be done for the rest of the season. But you guys, why? Do you need to address wide receiver? Potentially, sure.
Sure.
But does it have to be the guy that, in my opinion, is the most overrated wide receiver that I've ever seen in my entire life? What did the guy do?
What did he do?
Have one Giants good season and a miraculous back catch. What did he do after that?
Look at this.
No.
Look at this.
No. Okay? What did he do after that?
Nothing.
Nothing. And even then on game one, I'm watching him like you all were. I'm watching him on TV like everyone else did, looking at, wow, you're going to walk into a 7-2 team and call out Stafford? You're going to call out the quarterback? You're going to chirp with your other receivers on the side? Hey, Rams, you're fakers in my opinion now.
Oh. I agree. Okay? I'm a faker.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Hey,
fakers.
You were fakers because I thought that you were a legitimate organization. And hey, McVay, you don't even deserve the honey sugar baby.
Oh, wait. Oh, don't get mad.
I'm mad at him.
Don't get mad.
I'm mad
All
at
right,
him.
last one. I got to know. The Chiefs, makers or fakers?
Makers.
They're back, aren't they?
They're
back, aren't they?
Yeah.
Do I blame Rodgers for this?
100%. 100%. They're not fakers because they've won the Super Bowl. They found themselves back there again, and that's just the bottom line. But oh man, like the worst thing that Green Bay ever did for the league was that game.
Oh, 100%.
And there I see Rodgers.
Last one. Cam Newton, maker or faker?
Faker.
I think so too. You got lucky. Like 2 straight. Did you see that? Runs in his first run, touchdown. First pass, touchdown.
See,
you can't do that every time. I dare you to do it again.
Cam Newton, listen to me. Okay, listen to me. Learn. Go find out where Nick Foles is.
Yeah.
Talk to him. Bring him back. You, Foles.
That's a nice combo.
It's called the Super Bowl. It's called the Super Bowl.
I like what you're up to. Like what you're up to.
That's it, Mitch.
All right. I got a question. Week 11's coming up. Any game you like?
There's a couple games that I looked here at, but I said to myself, I don't know, would I put my undefeated streak up against something that didn't make too much sense? But you bet your bottom dollar I did. Because, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something right now. You're talking to a Green Bay Packer fan.
Sure I am.
You're talking to a guy who decimated the Seattle Seahawks where they couldn't put up 0 points.
0.
Meaning, this team's on tilt. Russell Wilson's soft. He's cold. He's this. He's that. He's back, baby. Because guess what? Whether you're back in Kyler Murray or whether you're not, it really doesn't make a difference. You can take your little record, Arizona, because I know it's not working in the NHL, and it's not working this week because the Seattle Seahawks are the money-making matchup of the week.
What a call. That is big, man. I like that.
I'm the people's champ. I put it on the big games. Yeah, I think so, Mitch. I think so. Look, I just, it's one of those games.
Yeah.
It's just one of those games.
I get it, man. I wish I had a game. Or do I?
What?
It's the Cowboys taking on the Chiefs for weeks on end. I'm like, the Chiefs suck. They're horrible. The Cowboys, look at me. Bing, bing, bing. I got big guns. I can do whatever I want. Guess what, Kansas City? Yeah, you're going to go to the playoffs. Yeah, you're leading your division. But you're up against a team that can put up just as many points, and their defense is just a little bit better than yours. Cowboys -2.5. Do it all night, make it 4.5. It's the Cowboys going into Kansas City and gonna shoot you down.
Whoa!
That's right. That's your 5-star pick of the week. Bold. Does anyone else have more fun than picking games than you do? No. Honey, are you having steak? 5-star.
Tip of the week. How was the service? It was great.
Can you imagine? I'm going to do it next time we go out with Kat. I'm going to do it. All right, from there we go to rapid banter.
You guys ask why do we do it?
Yeah,
why do you guys?
This is why we just get together and just do this. This is it.
You know what?
Yep.
Fine.
You know what? I dare tonight. Let's go for a drink after. And I'll do it. I'm like, can you get it the tip? The 5-star tip of the week goes to you, miss. All right, rapid banter. Here we go.
Okay, here we go.
You ready?
Yeah.
Barstool Sports did a list of top female singers all time. Number 1, Mariah Carey. Number 2, Whitney. Did they get it right?
No, they missed Bette Midler.
Survivor Series, Roman Reigns versus Big E. Who wins?
The Big R.
What? I don't know what that means. Matt Stafford's wife, LA Rams quarterback, threw a pretzel at a 49ers fan during the Monday Night Football game. Pass the ketchup or pass the mustard?
Can we just pass on the OBJ?
Head coach of the Bengals, Zach Taylor, said when he visits Vegas, he spends 72 hours at the crabs table. Change it up or don't interrupt me on a heater.
Don't interrupt me on a heater.
The heater's a big thing.
Have some respect.
Respect
Okay.
for the heater. I got a story for that one day. If you guys ever want to hear it, I'm a little upset about it. Alex Topoulos, your stag. That's all I'm saying.
Who touched the dice?
They were talking. We have to go to dinner. It's out. I'm on a heater. I'm literally. I swear to God, I'm on a heater. And they, buddy. They're dragging me, and my hands are on the table. My hands are on the table. Now, granted, we went to a Greek restaurant and had a great time dancing. Long story short, worth it?
No, that's bad.
But you don't take a guy away from the heater.
No.
If you had to guess who got 600 points faster, Lindros or Yari Curry, who would it be?
I would say Curry.
He did just by a few games, though. Yari Curry at 419.
Yeah, I'm just going, Gretzky. Boy, born at the right place at the right time.
Isn't that true? I'm actually surprised Lindros got that many that quickly.
No, he was a phenom when he first came.
In yesterday's Team Canada versus Mexico game, who would have won in the fight?
Oh, Mexico.
You think so? Yeah, they're scrappy.
Yo, you think they go down?
No, I don't think
so. They're tough, man.
Yeah, they're tough.
They're tough.
In their prime, who's better, Anthony Davis or Dwight Howard? There's been big discussion about this all week.
Ooh, that's a really, really good question. I kind of like the Dwight Howard on this one.
That's where the internet's kind of pointing.
Yeah, I just feel like he's done more with less.
The Staples Center is changing its name to the Crypto.com Stadium. Is it real?
LeBron coin?
Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair, Survivor Series. Who you got?
Perhaps a tie?
That's the first ever wrestling tie, that one. That one is a tie. I can't decide either.
I can't decide.
I saw the promo the other day by the Lynch. I think they actually hate each other.
If not, then they are just really selling it.
They should get an Emmy. Just saying. You can redo the draft now. Everyone's in their prime. McDavid, Crosby, Lemieux.
Why would you do this?
Why would you do this? I was thinking of questions. I couldn't think of one.
Lemieux.
Last one. This one actually started controversy. I mean, old cousin Jim called me. South Carolina George called me about this. So last week we talked about who is the most popular wrestler. Yeah, here he goes. Last week I talked about who is the most popular wrestler. How about most beloved heel? Razor Ramon.
My favorite.
Honky Tonk Man.
Ooh.
Mr. Perfect.
Uh-huh.
The Macho Man.
Ooh.
The McMahons.
Uh-huh.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Vince McMahon is the most beloved and greatest heel of all time.
There it is. Rapid Banter. That's a good one.
That was a great one.
I don't know.
That
I love
you
the
know what?
honky tonk, man.
Yeah, the honky tonk guy was good. But you know what? You know what I love? That one sparked controversy because we throw the wrestling in because we're wrestling fans.
We're big wrestling guys. Yeah,
you know it is.
Everyone's a wrestling fan.
And then we throw out of all the things in the podcast, what happened? We got feedback from T-Bone, and old cousin Jim and South Carolina George, about it just goes to show you never know.
You never know.
You never know.
Yeah. From there, we go to everyone's favorite segment. It's Maga Malaka. I didn't change it. I don't care. Anyways, here we go. Things McDavid can do to be tougher. Are you ready?
Ready.
Boom. MMA training. Maga or Malaka move?
You know what, Malaka, because he can't have an injury, as a result of training.
I feel like if you can put a arm bar on anybody at any time, it's a win. So I'm going to go Malaka.
Okay.
Or Maga. Sorry.
Right. Okay.
How about this one? Jiu-jitsu, just learning a little bit more jiu-jitsu. So not just the striking, but jiu-jitsu specifically.
Maga.
Maga.
Yeah, I like that.
Bow hunting, just hunting maybe. Because last week you went on a hunting trip.
Right.
Maybe he's got to hunt more. I mean, he is in Alberta. It's good hunting country.
Yeah, I would say, maybe not hunting, but just go right in and just encounter the bear. Like Khabib.
Fight a bear. That's actually a good point. Just walk right in and say, hi, I'm Connor. I'm going to fight you now.
That's right.
That's right. Wake him up during
get a guide.
Slumber.
At least the guide can introduce you.
True.
To the bear population.
This is a big one. I mean, he can make some money doing this and prove his toughness. 2-for-1 win. Fight Logan Paul.
Oh, Maga. Good for business.
Great for business.
Great.
You could do it at the Rogers Center.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Fill it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be great. No, that's a.
I guarantee you, St. Pierre will come and train you
easily.
All day.
Think of the marketing. McDavid Paul.
How about this? You want to get tougher? I'll tell you how. Yesterday, the Canada team showed it. Don't wear a jacket while it's cold outside.
I'm going to go Malaka. I don't think that does anything.
You want to screw around with the flu?
They're already playing on ice.
Do you want to screw around with the flu?
They're already playing on ice.
It's also a good point. All right, fair enough. All right. How about take up rugby? What about rugby? What if he took up rugby? Aussie rules.
You know what? I'm going to go Malaka. I just think if you're going to be... He might like the sport too much, and then he's gone from hockey. And then where are we as fans?
Yeah, we're screwed. You're right. If he's that good at hockey, he's got to be at least half decent, if not good, at rugby.
That's what I'm saying.
That's a good point.
Yeah, no,
I never thought of
that.
No, it's good. It was a popular song years ago, a couple more. Walk 100 miles.
Yes, Maga. Yeah.
Maybe that's what it is. Just toughen up. Walk 100 miles.
I say combine both. Walk 100 miles and take on the bear.
Walk 100 miles to the bear.
To the bear.
And then walk back.
There you go.
That's it. Second last one. Fight Crosby. Just next time you're on the ice. You see Crosby, you look at him, he said, hey, I got to do this for me.
Yeah, Maga. Yeah, you got to do that.
You got to fight around.
We need to know.
Last one. You want to be tough, Crosby, in this COVID-ridden world? I got one for you. Licking poles. Maga or Malaka?
Everyone knows that you're the best pole licker in the business. However, if you can withstand COVID, if you can withstand the flu, that's your thing.
That's the
licking
thing.
Pole, let's do it.
Hey, get back to the archives. You'll know what we're talking about. There it is. Sports show. Boom.
I can't believe it. What is this, episode 184?
Who cares?
Does
it matter anymore?
Anyone keeping count?
200.
Number 4.
3,000 show. Congratulations. That was the 3,000 show.
Tell him what he's won. Look, roster, I'll tell you what we've won. We've won the fact that all of you listen to us week in, week out and show your support. Even when you love us, even when you hate us. But regardless, we still want you to follow us. Sports Show YYC on Twitter and Instagram. Sports Show TV on YouTube. Please subscribe to the channel. That would help us out greatly. We have the Facebook page. And, of course, you can download, listen, love, share, do everything with the podcast. Spotify, iTunes, Podbean. Look, episode 180-something.
3,000.
It's one for the books.
Yep.
But we got to shove it in the locker.
Put it there.
Because we still need to hit the showers.
Boom.
Boom.
Have a great week, everyone.
This.
I'm not. Hey, I can't believe. I was going to say it. I didn't want to say it. But can I just say something? Can we go curling one day? I was thinking about it. Yeah. Well, you need 4 guys.
You need 4 guys.
essence. Treaty 7 land, baby, shout out to indigenous. My girl, she got mad at me cause she don't know the difference.
Yeah, I
Between
guess.
this and them, now you about to witness.
I was
But
thinking
freedom is
we
so
might
now I
need
tell
a
that
guy
girl,
that
get
knows
out
how
my
to play.
business.
We should get
Do this, I ain't
Okay,
joshing.
T-Bone me, you,
Sit around and grab it,
throw in a
talking
third,
what
fourth
you
guy.
wanted. It's mostly you
versus
when it drop, then
T-Bone's
what they
team,
wanted. You can say what you got
and I'm sure they have a spare.
They must have a spare.
They gotta have a spare.
If they don't have a spare,
Well, they have to because, I mean, God forbid somebody slides on their, slips on their slider. And
this
breaks
was
their neck
actually
or
one of my favorite podcasts. And I can't even tell you. And
You know what it all started?
It's the plan.
It's the plan.
It's the plan.
It got us
It got
excited.
it.
That's exactly it.
This had a very.
I'm looking at the room.
I'm like, this Alchemy Studios.
Dude, but you know what the thing is? The room is a perfect size for what we want to do.
Oh my god!
It's like legitimately perfect. In fact, you could have like 3-4 guys and it would work perfectly.
You know when I knew this was going to be a great episode?
Just saying.
We didn't even plan on the curling bit.
Right.
But in the opening,
No, that's right. Yeah.
The opening drive.
Yeah.
It set the tone.
It set the tone.
I felt I rambled too much with the Tortorella stuff.
No, not at all. I don't think so. And I'm
can
not
win.
just trying to make you feel better because I usually do that, but not in this case. Hey, bottom line, you guys have a great week. I'm gonna get naked. Let's go get a drink. Let's go do our thing.
Mostly you don't know me when it drop, then I'm mostly what they bopping. You can say what you got when it's Tuesday, I be locked in.